Just a heads up, I want to state that this video will contain spoilers for the Renegade story. So if you don't want that spoiled, I would just click off now. All right, so I have completed the Renegades campaign and done a lot of the post-game activities and stuff like that. Done all casual lightsabers, whatever. So I feel like I have enough to formulate a initial impression. And that initial impression is that it's the DLC is decent, I'd say. It's definitely good. It's on the better side of the DLCs, but I wouldn't say that really blows me away like the Witch Queen or the Final Shape. And I want to start by talking about the story campaign, the campaign story first. I'm not going to go into like actually what happens really, because this isn't a review or a recap. It's just my initial impressions. But the story basically does follow like the framework of A New Hope, like the general outline of events. The whole like fucking like blows up Alderaan, the Death Star blows up in the end, like that shit, like the like I said, the general framework. Um, and that does result in the story being rather predictable, at least to me. It like for instance, I feel like it would have been a lot less predictable, if like the if Nightfall Station firing on Tharsis wasn't in the trailer, it's just the story trailer. Which, by the way, I think I'm like the only one who actually was able to realize that that actually wasn't part of the vision. I don't know why, but I guess I'm the only one who was able to actually figure that out. So yay me. Anyways, like I was saying, the story does end up being kind of predictable, and that makes it fall rather flat on its face. However, despite that, I do still like the campaign as the Destiny elements integrated into it, I feel like were integrated well. However, I don't feel like they were integrated well enough, so it results in it feeling not quite like Destiny, but also not quite like Star Wars. It's like this. At least to me, it felt like it was in this weird in between like limbo state of like it's constantly like struggling between like if it wants to be Star Wars or if it wants to be Destiny, you know. But that's and oh yeah, one really funny thing from the campaign is that the main villain is a fucking nepo baby. I'm not joking. Dredgen Bale is the son of the like current Tex Mechanica CEO or whatever, and that is he's like the fucking Hassan Piker of Destiny 2, and that just destroyed any ounce of like aura that he ever had. I really really wish that it was Kyrell though. Like the dead ghosts, the chains, all that it really made us think. It really made us. It really made him seem like he was gonna be Kyrell, and I'm just saying Bungie probably did that on purpose. So like, well, a pipe like, oh, this guy's Kyrell, this guy's Kyrell. Ha ha ha. No, he isn't. He's just random. He's just some random dude. And it's just the story, in my opinion, would have been infinitely cooler with if Kyrell was Dredgen Bale. One thing I want to make note of though is that the weapon for Nightfall Station was never referred to as the Cosmic Incubator. I could be wrong though, because the dialogue did glitch out for me sometimes and just not even play. So I don't know. But if it was never referred to it as that, there's still a chance of Nezarek coming back from it somehow. Just saying, there's still a chance of Nezarek. Please, Bungie, I want you to do something with him that's actually good. Please. But the pacing of the campaign I do have an issue with. It that it's basically the way it works is that you do like a mission, and then you go to Tharsis, you talk to a guy, you go run over here, talk to another guy, you go get a call on your ghost, and then you go meet over here and talk to somebody, and then like fucking like pick up an audio log, and then you go into the next mission and it repeats. It feels very bloated, but at the same time, it also feels way too short. Like I feel like we got to the end way too quickly. I just wish that there was more variety in the missions, and that's mainly it. Just the variety in the variety of the missions, and how bloated it felt were my main two issues, I'd say. For the campaign gameplay, it was all right, I'd say. That it's way better than just like going turning to Matter Spark every like having like Matter Spark sections every 5 seconds. It's way better than that. The Praxic Blade is also really fun to use, but the constantly having to go in and out, having to constantly do like those bounty hunt missions over and over and over again, like the bounty hunt, smuggle, sabotage missions, over and over and over again for the campaign, really hurt it. If they just made more like original, unique missions for the campaign, I would. This would, in my opinion, be like easily might be maybe top three campaigns. My favorite campaign is still like the Witch Queen though. It's gonna be hard to dethrone that, but I don't know. So overall, I would say the campaign is simultaneously bloated and yet also too short at the same time, which I don't know how Bungie were able to achieve that, but they did. And that the story is rather, I wouldn't say confusing, but there are definitely some aspects that are confusing, like the whole nine stuff. Like how the nine tie into this is really confusing, but the nine themselves are confusing, so I'm not really that surprised. But yeah, overall, like I'd say I give the campaign like a 6 out of 10. It's not bad, but I wouldn't say it's extremely good either. The post-campaign activities are all right. I personally like them. However, I do they are getting rather repetitive rather quickly. The grind does seem a bit tedious for the factions. I just I just wish there was like more map and mission variety for the jobs, because like Helldivers, this is like it is basically a Helldivers ripoff, by the way, if you couldn't tell that already. But like with Helldivers, they have a bunch of missions. The maps are all randomized. Got a bunch of like randomized side objectives, and that all combines to make each mission, feel in some way or another more unique. With this, it's just like a copy and paste of like just the same mission over and over and over again with like very slight changes. So that definitely does hurt it. So I would, but Invasion is really fun. I do. This does feel the Invasion does feel like a much better version of Gambits in my opinion, with the whole no heavy ammo and all that. The Renegade abilities are also pretty fun. The maxed out strafing run, in my opinion, is probably the best one, but that's just because it's like purely damage, and the guardian in our guardian survivability is so high that we don't really need to worry about health. So that's it for the activities. And like I would give that a 5 out of 10, just because of how quickly it gets repetitive. But yeah, the loot is good. From what I've seen, the hand cannon is absurdly overpowered in PvP. Like like if you go against somebody using it, you are guaranteed to lose. That's how bad. That's how strong it is. From what I've used, it is really good. The Praxic Blade is really fun. It's probably one of the most fun exotics they've put in the game. The new Titan exotic chest piece is also extremely fun. I haven't gotten the chance to test out the new exotic armor for the other classes on account of me only playing Titan. I don't. I'm sorry, but I'm just not grinding out the campaign on the other characters, and I'm not paying for a campaign skip. You just can't make me do that. So, in total, I would give the DLC a 6.5 out of 10. It's definitely on the better side of the DLCs. However, the pacing issues and the repetitiveness of the campaign is just something that I can't ignore, and that really, really brings it down for me. So yeah, like a 6.5 or 7 out of 10. Not good, not bad. Well, it is good, but not overwhelmingly good. It's better than Lightfall, obviously. But yeah, with the actual DLC out of the way, let's move on to the portal changes. I can't really say for sure if they are good or bad since I did finish the grind to 550, so I can't really speak on how they are regarding that. The new activities that they added are nice. I'm glad they brought back Nightmare Containment, as that was one of my favorite seasonal activities. So I'm probably gonna be playing that a lot. But yeah, since I am 550, I can't really speak on how good they are. They seem good, but I don't know. But the balance changes are nice. Sentinel Shield finally getting a buff is so nice. It is so much better now with that shield throw charge thing. You can't you wouldn't believe it. But so overall, I'd say this DLC is decent. The balance changes and the portal changes are nice. The actual DLC itself is decent. It's on the better side of the DLCs. So overall, I'll give this the total update a 7.5 out of 10. Not bad, but not overwhelmingly good either. It's just nice, decent. And with that, I will ask you to like and comment, subscribe, and share. Comment if you agree with me, have anything else you want to put out there or anything. I do enjoy seeing your feedback and all that. Subscribe, obviously, it helps me in the algorithm, as well as liking and sharing. This video was unscripted, by the way, so I probably missed some stuff that I did have brewing in the back of my head. But with that, I will see you next time.